Serious accusations. A local daycare is under investigation this morning. What a mother says happened to her 4-year-old.
And we do have clear skies this morning, but we're seeing the clouds start to increase. We do have a chance of some thunderstorms. I'll have the details.
Plus, the Colts hit the field for their 3rd preseason game. We will have a preview. Plus, what's happening this morning that has fans running out into the field.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Weekend Sunrise starts now.
And good morning to you. Welcome to Weekend Sunrise. I'm Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green. Colts playing tonight at home.
Yes, big day.
Whew, what about, you got your blue on, I forgot. But we have tailgating that'll probably happen.
Absolutely.
How's the weather going to be for that?
It's going to be very hot to tailgate today, but it should be mainly dry. We do have a chance of an isolated thunderstorm later on this afternoon into the evening. This morning, we are dealing with some patchy dense fog. We do have some dense fog advisories being issued from the National Weather Service. Grant and Blackford County now under that advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. And we are dealing with dry conditions this morning. That is really great because we have had copious amounts of rain over the past 36 hours, starting to dry out right now. So we'll see a few clouds around this afternoon, but visibility at the surface a little bit reduced in some locations. 2.5 miles of reduced visibility in Richmond, 5 miles in Kokomo, where they were under less than 1/10 of a mile of visibility. So certainly improving as we head into the later hours this morning. Let's go ahead and take a live look from our Connorsville camera here. Really a great start. A lot of sunshine there. Currently 71 degrees. The air is calm. Check out that dew point, 69. Very sticky conditions. Taking a look here in Kokomo, a lot of clear sky right now, but again, we'll see hazy skies for the most part throughout the day today, and it will be a steamy one at that. Taking a look at our current conditions right now, it is very warm for this time of year. 75 degrees, light breezes out of the east at 5 miles per hour, the dew point at 71. Anytime the dew point is climbing above 65, it feels pretty oppressive out there. Future Track 13 starting the timeline here at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll see the clouds moving in, a chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm, mainly late afternoon into the early evening. Most places will stay dry today. Temperatures this afternoon climbing into the upper 80s. It will be a sticky day today. More heat on the way. I'll have all those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 7-day forecast.
Kelly, thank you. A local mother says a daycare worker molested her daughter. It's a serious charge, and Metro Police have launched a serious investigation. Police have questioned the male employee from the Children's Choice Learning Center at St. Vincent. The daycare said in a statement released yesterday that the teacher had been put on administrative leave. According to the daycare, they also called police and other local children's agencies to investigate. Investigators said it all started when they got a call yesterday afternoon to come to the emergency room at St. Vincent Hospital. That's where they met a mother and her 4-year-old daughter who said the little girl's teacher had fondled her. The daycare's parent company said in its statement, in part, the teacher had a clear background and reference check at the time of hire, and no other teachers, parents, or children have reported any concerns. Criminal background checks review the state and county records of where employees have resided, worked, or gone to school in the last 7 years. No word on how long that teacher had been an employee there. Well, the mayor's office says it wants to help Flanner House charter school students find new schools when theirs closes on September 11th. At a meeting last night, the deputy mayor for education told parents school fairs are now set up next Tuesday and Wednesday at the Ivy Tech campus. Parents will have a chance to touch base with other area schools. The Flanner House School Board voted to close the charter after the State Board of Education found alleged cheating on I-STEP tests, including answer changes allegedly made by adults. If the school board had not closed the school, Mayor Ballard said he would have. Parents and school supporters were very disappointed.
It's like trying to save a patient that has a small melanoma cancer on them by getting a chainsaw and an axe out. You're not going to save the patient.
At WTHR.com, you can find the times and locations of those school fairs the city has set up for next week to help families find new schools. You can also find a website the city set up to answer questions from Flanner House families. Look for the online version of this story at WTHR.com. It is game day for the Colts. Tonight, the team takes on the New Orleans Saints in week 3 of the preseason, and we should see more of the Colts starters out on the field this week, including quarterback Andrew Luck expected to take some more snaps. Still no word on whether Reggie Wayne and Ahmad Bradshaw will play. Tonight's game will be played at Lucas Oil Stadium. Kickoff is set for 8 o'clock. And Kelly joining me now. Hey.
Hi.
So we've been talking about tailgating today because a lot of people are very excited to have the
Yes.
Colts home. How's it going to be?
Well, it is definitely going to be a hot and sticky tailgate. We do have a slight chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm, but for the most part, we're talking about dry conditions, and we definitely need it with all the heavy rainfall we had yesterday. I'll have all those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 7-day forecast.
Plus, a healthier alternative. We are taking a look at the best vegan places that Indy has to offer. That's coming up next. Welcome back, 9:08 on your Saturday morning. What are the best places to eat vegan in Indy? Lindsay Clutter takes a look with help from Yelp's Brittany Smith.
Every Saturday, we showcase the best of Indy with a little help from Brittany Smith from Yelp. Thanks for joining us here again. And today we're looking at some of the best vegan dishes in town. And who would have guessed that when you're working with, you know, vegetables and fruits and those kinds of things, how colorful you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, look how beautiful this is.
It's one of the most beautiful sets we've done.
I know. Everyone just can't wait to dive in after
it's
this.
so colorful, lots of nutrients on this table. And the vegan scene in Indy has just grown immensely in the past few months. I'm excited 2 of these businesses actually have just opened in the last 2 months. So it's a great sign of what's to come for Indy's
Great, you'll have
vegan
to tell us
community.
where they're located as well.
Yeah, definitely. So starting off down here, this is a great example, just opened recently, 3 Carrots, located in City Market. It's an all vegan or vegetarian restaurant. And this is their station gyro with, you know, some chips, but the other options they have there are like a vegan biscuits and gravy in the morning. They're serving breakfast and lunch, and now they've extended their hours to 8 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
So you can get a lot of different things there.
So instead of lamb in the gyro, it's
station.
It's-
So it's
okay.
kind of like a tofu kind of
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I love tofu.
Yeah, so do I.
They have a lot of great tofu
Yeah.
options there too.
Okay, great.
And then next we have Ezra's, which is located in Broad Ripple. They also just opened actually in the past few weeks. And this is their not so tuna dish right here on a beautiful bed of lettuce, the beet and
Cut
walnut
out the
salad.
carbs.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They have a great garage door there, so while it's still warmer, they pull up the door, the sunlight just floods the room. And this is actually a raw vegan restaurant, so it's kind of different than the vegetarian and vegan options. It's all raw. And they have like these flaxseed beet crackers with carrots, and they're just
that's
combining
healthy.
tons of vegetables into one thing.
Excuse
Give it
me.
a try. Have you had it flaxseed
I
crackers? They're
love.
quite delicious.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
that is delicious.
So good, yes.
I knew it would be.
And while I was there, actually, they had tons of people getting the
So
Buddha
good.
bowl. It's one of their signature items. It's got a raw falafel with beets and carrots and kraut from Fermenti Artisan, which is located in City Market as well. But this business is really exciting. It's a great place to go for desserts,
It looks
too.
so creative, too, especially for all you
Extremely.
foodies out there.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes, trying new things. And then next we have Spice Nation, which is located on 38th Street in Lafayette Square. It's an Indian restaurant that's always trying new things and inventing. They have a daily a buffet option that's some days it's Indo-Chinese, some days it's all vegan.
That's a great area for ethnic food.
Exactly.
Anyway,
it's one of my favorites. A coconut rice with chana masala on top, which is like a chickpea base. It's delicious.
Oh, it does look wonderful.
Yes. And then an Indy staple, we have Duos, which has several locations now, actually.
Are we here? Are these
both
two?
of these,
Okay.
yes. So this is actually their quinoa croquette broken down. It's kind of deconstructed version. I just wanted people to see what it looks like. The spicy red cabbage, the quinoa, delicious mayo there. And then we also have their peanut lime rice with a spicy cabbage on top. That business is constantly coming up with great things. Afterwards, I've got more on the side.
Oh, that is so good.
Duos has their food truck. Now they're located in Eskenazi Health, several locations. It's a great business.
Oh, yeah, and you can taste the lime there, too. Oh, my goodness.
Packed with flavor.
Wow, it sure is. And I think there's going to be a battle over here.
Yeah,
who's
going to try what?
Dishes. All right, well, thank you so much
Thank you.
again for all these names and locations, and for more information on these great vegan dishes around town. Just go to our website at WTHR.com.
Looks good. A setback in the Ebola recovery efforts. Why aid workers have been blocked from traveling to West Africa.
And more dense fog advisories have been issued for Grant, Jay, and Blackford counties until 12 noon. We'll see visibilities improving as we head through the rest of the morning. Chance of storms, heat, and humidity return. I'll have the details.
Welcome back. Just hours before the players hit the field, fans are crossing the finish line at Lucas Oil Stadium this morning already. Sunrise reporter Matt McCutcheon is there where the Colts 5K is already underway. Matt?
Colts are also taking photos, and those vehicles Good morning. You can see the runners who are slowly making their way here through the finish line inside Lucas Oil Stadium. We actually got a lull in activity right now, but you can see a couple of the runners coming here. This, of course, is all for a good cause. You know, it's hard to believe that in just a matter of hours, 8 o'clock tonight, the Colts will take on the Saints right here on this field inside Lucas Oil Stadium. But before all of that, this 5K here, this is the second year for this event, which raises money for a good cause. Joining us this morning with more on all of that is a man that needs no introduction. We're talking about here with the Colts. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you as well.
First of all, being here today, seeing all these people here for the 5K, what is this like?
Oh, it's totally awesome. You know, the Colts do a great job of giving back to the community and engaging the community and making them feel a part of the organization. And I think today is just one aspect of how they do that.
And for you personally, to be here on they come by.
So it is you know, the AFC Championship game and me making that play. So it's always good to get around the fans and relive and share that moment and hear the stories and experience of where they were when they were watching the game and their experience and feelings and emotions when they, you know, went through the play with me.
This is the second year for this event, and each and every year we see so many people cross the finish line with so many extraordinary stories of why they came out here for this 5K. What's perhaps a story or a person that kind of sticks out in your mind?
Well, everything right now that I've heard from the fans last year, this year, has been very positive and going towards the fact of as a fan, you get to sit in the stands and watch your favorite team play, your favorite players play, but now to have the opportunity to actually be on that same field adds much more to the experience of the moment when you'll come back.
Got to ask you, big game tonight and the season ahead. How are you feeling? What are you predicting this year?
Oh, I'm predicting a great season. I think the organization has obviously done a great job of putting things back together. Anytime you have a great GM, head coach, and even more so, a great quarterback, you always give yourself a chance to win in the NFL. And the moves they made in the offseason on offense, defense, bringing in some key pieces, I'm looking forward to a great season from the Colts.
Marlon Jackson, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Always great to see you. All right, you just heard this is the big 5K here, raising money for a good cause. A lot of the money raised here goes to the IU Simon Cancer Foundation. So where exactly, however, does that money go, and how's the status on some of that research? We'll hear from a healing doctor coming up here at next half hour of Sunrise. For now, reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Matt, thank you, and loving that blue tie. Kelly's got her blue on.
That's right.
Too.
Go Colts.
Go Colts. We can pull it off tonight, I think.
Yeah.
I did notice a lot of folks walking through the finish line, which is about my speed, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
not as many runners, but they were inside.
Yes,
so
it's going to be a hot and steamy day. I know Nicole Masensic training for the Chicago Marathon.
Wow.
She's doing 18 miles this morning. Good for her. She rocks, and we are going to see a hazy day. The good news is it is drying out, which we definitely need. We need a break from the rain, and but we are dealing with some patchy fog across most locations in central Indiana. 2.5 miles of visibility in Richmond, 5 miles in Kokomo, 7 miles in Indianapolis, down to 0.3 of a mile in Columbus, where the Columbus Arts Festival will be kicking off at 10 o'clock this morning. Now, we do have some fog advisories in effect now for some of our northern viewing area, Jay, Blackford, and Grant counties under this advisory until 12 noon. I think things will start to improve as we head after 10 o'clock this morning. And we are going to see a lot of sunshine today, but still some hazy skies. Currently 75 degrees. Winds will be out of the east at 5 miles per hour right now. Visibility still at 7 miles at the Indianapolis airport, but again, going to continue to improve as we head into the later hours this morning. Currently 72 in Columbus, 75 in Bloomington, 74 in Lafayette, 75 in Terre Haute, and 74 in Muncie. We are tracking the possibility of a few more thunderstorms today, but we are going to see a dry period. Many locations will stay dry today too. We're also tracking 90-degree temperatures. We have to go back to 2013 for the last time we had a 90-degree temperature in Indianapolis, and we've had a hot week. Temperatures still climbed into the mid-80s. Heat indices made it feel like it was in the upper 80s, but we are tracking some very hot conditions as well as a cool down. I'll get to that in just a moment. But taking a look at future track 13, we will still see some clouds around today, and we have the possibility of a few thunderstorms, especially in our northeastern viewing area. This is along the ridge of high pressure that we've been tracking for the last few days. So hot conditions today if you are tailgating for the Colts game. If you're heading to Greek Fest, definitely hydrate, definitely drink a lot of water. Temperatures today climbing into the upper 80s. Heat indices will make it feel like it's in the low 90s. 90 degree the high in North Vernon, 88 in Rushville, 87 in Noblesville, and 88 degrees the high in Lafayette. Now tonight for the Colts game, temperatures will be around 81 degrees, and kickoff is at 8 o'clock. Temperatures will fall into the upper 70s. It will be a muggy evening as you head away from Lucas Oil, and temperatures will fall to 71 degrees by morning. We will see the possibility of some more patchy fog again tomorrow morning, not as significant as this morning. Now the jet stream really will have make a big difference in our forecast over the next couple of days. As it advances farther to the north, it will allow that warmer air and also higher humidity into the atmosphere. So we are going to see a couple of hot days. Today's high 87 degrees, tracking 90-degree days on Sunday and Monday. And then as we head into the middle of the work week, we do have chances of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, a cool down by Friday.
West African authorities say they blocked a UN aid flight from landing because the flight came from a country affected by the Ebola outbreak. During a news conference yesterday, health workers demonstrated for Senegal leaders how people would be screened at the airport for the virus. The country's Minister of Tourism says all flights from Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea have now been suspended. Senegal is a regional hub for aid workers, and this is a major blow to medical and aid groups in their fight to prevent the Ebola virus from spreading. And also on the Health Beat this morning, an event this weekend for you to learn more about gluten-free living. Hundreds of vendors and experts are gathered in Indianapolis for the Gluten-Free Food Allergy Fest. The two-day event is taking place this weekend from 10 to 4 at the State Fairgrounds. Admission is $15. You can sample food and learn about the latest and greatest products in the gluten-free world. The featured speaker this year is Jilly Lagasse, daughter of famed chef Emeril Lagasse. She will talk about her new gluten-free cookbook. And earlier this morning, we showed you the cautionary tale of a college freshman falling victim to the effects of alcohol abuse. Now there's a law that could have saved her life, and State Senator Jim Merritt joins us now next to tell us more. College classes start Monday for many schools, and underage drinking is an unfortunate reality on and around college campuses. That can lead to trouble, but there's also a law that allows underage drinkers to get help if they or their friends are in trouble. It's called the Lifeline Law, but first, teens need to know the law even exists. State Senator Jim Merritt has been fighting for this law for a while, joins us now to talk about what exactly this protection offers to kids.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me on the set today, because this is so important in talking to the masses about this, because everybody knows somebody on college campuses or a junior or senior in high school. And this weekend is the first weekend, newfound freedom for freshmen, something that they have never experienced before. And we've found that binge drinking this first weekend and the first 2 weeks where school is not really gotten going yet. And the essence is, if you're in a social occasion like a party and someone is in need of medical attention, forget everything, call 911 and participate. And the folks that make the call, the folks that are at the party, even the individual who has the problem or the need of medical attention has immunity. Everyone
They're
has.
all protected.
They're all protected,
Okay.
and that is the issue here. And there has been some conversation through the years, and we've changed the law so that if you witness a robbery or you're a victim of sexual assault, and you've been drinking and you're under 21, call 911 because you have immunity.
Well, and you bring up such a good point, because this law is so crucial. It's not available in every state. We're lucky to have it here. How do you get kids to really know about it and trust it?
Well, we'll be announcing on Monday. We've done everything from public service announcements on radio and TV. The Attorney General and I have been on almost all campuses in the state of Indiana and a lot of high schools, but on Monday we will be announcing a direct to social media, and we're hitting
Good
them
idea.
right where they
where the
live,
kids are, right?
where they live. And so we've evolved. The law has changed, and no more, I don't want to get my friend in trouble
Right.
because they're passing out, or the split second of changing your life forever should be a parental and not a prosecutorial moment.
And have you seen it in use yet?
We've the partners that I'm with that have been quote unquote victims. Their kids have all death in situations. We've seen 6-7 lives saved.
Wow.
Or more. That's all we know, and I'm quite proud of it. And I think we will constantly, every year for the rest of my career, be on college campuses, because there always will be that 17 or 18-year-old that doesn't know any better and has that newfound freedom.
And they're under the influence of alcohol at times as well, so kind of decision making isn't always best. But thank you so much for joining us. We hope a lot of kids are listening today as you head back to school and enjoy your first weekend partying with your friends. Stay safe out there.
And the parents.
And the parents too. Parents too.
Make a call.
Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you.
Well, emergency crews are still on the scene of an overturned semi this morning. The crash has held up traffic on the northwest side of town for hours. How much longer cleanup could take?
And a dense fog advisory is in effect for many locations in our north central viewing area until 12 noon today. Things will improve and we'll see a hot and steamy afternoon. I'll have the details.
I feel like I could see him in her, and I know, he left his ultimate gift to me.
In her own words, a young widow opens up about the legacy her husband left behind.
And we're finally drying out today. We do have a chance of some thunderstorms today. I'll have the details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
Just in time for Game 3 of the preseason. It kicks off tonight for the Colts, but the Luke is already hopping this morning. We'll show you why coming up in a live report.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Weekend Sunrise starts now.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Saturday Weekend Sunrise. It is 9:30. Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green. We're talking all Colts this morning because they have a big game tonight.
Yes, against the New Orleans Saints. Now, I do love Drew Brees, but I'm always going to root for my Colts.
Yeah, they can pull through. I think they can. And hopefully the weather can too.
Yes, we are going to see a hot day. If you are tailgating outside Lucas Oil, it is going to be a hot one today. So do be aware of that. Make sure you keep yourself hydrated this afternoon. And we do have a chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm. As you can see on our satellite radar, we've had a few clouds moving in, and we also have reduced visibility. Now, it's certainly improving from where we were earlier this morning, but we've had a lot of moisture in the soil from yesterday's copious amounts of rain. We also have light breezes, and the dew points very close to the air temperature, just prime ingredients for the fog to develop. So things are definitely improving, but we do have some dense fog advisories, especially in our north central viewing area. Those are in effect until 12 noon today. So we're seeing some sunshine all across our WeatherBug network and our HD Skycam Indianapolis. A lot of hazy sky, temperature at 77 degrees. Winds are onto the east-southeast at 6 miles per hour, and we are definitely going to see a hot day today. Hazy skies as the clouds kind of move in this afternoon. We do have the potential of an isolated shower or thunderstorm, especially in our northern viewing area, and that's as that ridge of high pressure really keeps us in that axis of some scattered thunderstorms. So just a chance here and there. Most areas will stay dry through the afternoon on into the evening, but it will be a hot one and very humid too. Temperatures climb into the upper 80s this afternoon, with the humidity making it feel like it's in the low 90s. More details about the possibility of our first 90-degree temperature coming up in your SkyTrack 13 7-day forecast.
New on Weekend Sunrise, road crews in Boone County are still working to clean up after an accident there. They are also asking drivers to avoid that area. We do have a look from the scene earlier this morning. A semi pulling 2 trailers flipped over on a ramp from I-65 South onto 865 East. The ramp has been closed for several hours now for cleanup. Crews say both trailers busted open and spilled their contents across the road. Traffic along 65 South is still moving. Also new on Weekend Sunrise, a driver is rescued from an overturned car on the city's northwest side. It happened at the corner of West 29th and Boulevard. Investigators say the crash was a hit and run. And in this video here, you can see an off-duty nurse jumping into the car to treat the driver until fire and EMS crews arrived on scene. The driver did not have life-threatening injuries. That crash is still under investigation this morning. Also new on Weekend Sunrise, 78-year-old Sukhbar Singh has been found safe. We first reported his disappearance last night on the Night Beat. Metro Police asked the public for help finding him because he does suffer from dementia. He was found safely in Michigan last night. A warning now for people trying to break into the modeling business. One of the country's top modeling scouts, the Helen Wells Agency, says someone is using their good name to lure young girls. A fake ad posted on Craigslist invites females for acting and modeling and guarantees them video shoots. One local girl thought something was off when she was asked to meet the advertiser near North Meridian Street and Fall Creek Parkway at an apartment complex. She called the agency. Helen Wells said she almost never meets new clients away from her studio in Carmel.
But he told her not to call the office, which tells you something right there. And wanting pictures and videos of girls, wants girls of any age, that's bad. There's something going on. That is, and also he claims he's working for us, and he's not.
Wells says this is not the first time a fake modeling ad used her company's name and it's popped up online. She urges aspiring models to do their homework on companies making big promises and big guarantees. A judge has suspended driving privileges for an Indianapolis police officer following his arrest on drunk driving charges. Alan Johnson pleaded not guilty during his initial hearing yesterday in Hamilton County. The IMPD officer was off duty earlier this month when police say he drove over a roundabout and crashed into a telephone pole in Fishers. This is Johnson's second alcohol-related arrest in the last 2 years. Well, she went from newlywed to widow to new mother, all within a matter of months. Jennifer Trapazzano opened up to Eyewitness News about her life without her husband Nathan and with her daughter Cecilia. Sunrise reporter Kevin Rader has a story you will see only on 13.
Jennifer Trapazzano's life has changed dramatically in just the last 4 months. She lost the love of her life and found the love of her life.
You know, to lose your life partner, you lose your person that you do everything with, and yeah. And now I have someone to do everything with again, and makes me smile and laugh every day.
Cecilia Trapazzano, now 4 months old,
There's a smile.
has kept Jennifer busy.
You know, babies change so much every day, so I don't want to miss a second of it. So I just have to keep going, and you know, I just finished classes this summer because I want to provide a future for her. Like, you know, she's dependent on me, and I can't just wallow away in grief as much as some days I want to. And I want to live again, and I want to live for her. I don't want her to have a mom who's crying all the time. I want her to see me smile.
She's attending grad school and attending to Cecilia. Friends and family helped decorate the nursery. The picture above the crib went up just this week.
You know, and I wanted a picture that he was looking down over her, and that one came to mind immediately. And I just thought that'd be perfect. I want her to see him every day. I want her to know who her daddy is. But not only that, but I want her to know he's watching over her, and if he can see that picture above where she sleeps every night.
Do you think back to that time at all?
Every day. That week it just started going for his morning walks. He'd previously walked in the evening, and I think that's something that I still struggle with, but it's easy to say don't blame yourself. I know I wasn't the one with the gun. I know I didn't cause this, but little decisions are hard to get over sometimes. But I know he'd want me to move forward. That's what he said the last night to me. He said, you'd survive. You can live without me, and because I told him I couldn't.
But she is. He was right. And you only have to take one look to realize why.
Kevin Rader, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
Well, Jennifer says she's learned that even when something so bad happens and your view of humanity is tainted, that's when you begin to see the good in people. And we again ask you to take the blue pledge. If you see something suspicious or criminal, take back your neighborhood by picking up the phone and dialing 911. You can find more information about that on WTHR.com. About 1 year ago, a local teen was hit on his bicycle while leaving a church carnival on the southeast side. 13-year-old Alec Voles had a traumatic brain injury and had to have his leg amputated after the accident. He has made progress through therapy, relearning how to talk. But now the family's insurance has told him they won't cover his therapy anymore. So today they are hosting a fundraiser car wash for Alec. It's from 10 to 2 at the McDonald's in the 5900 block of Madison Avenue, just south of Stop 11 Road. The Voles family anticipates a lifetime of therapy and medical costs for Alec. They say they're grateful for what the community has already done to help. The Franklin teenager who survived a deadly swimming accident is now back home. 16-year-old Sarah McClevish is out of the hospital this morning. 2 friends and first responders rescued her from the Big Blue River in Edinburgh earlier this summer. She made it out alive. Her friends, though, died trying to save her. Her mother says they are getting settled at home now and working on her recovery. And Colts fans now getting pumped up for tonight's preseason game against the Saints. Some are doing it with a little bit of cardio, or a lot. We head back out to Lucas Oil Stadium, where Matt McCutcheon has been watching runners cross that finish line. Matt?
We just concluded the 5K run.
Good morning. It's hard to believe that we actually have the big football game here tonight, that we're actually talking about football, but it is that time of year. But before all of that, as you mentioned, it is the big 5K, and we've got a couple of kids running through here now. This is the 5K for children right now going on here in part of Lucas Oil Stadium. They're running through right there, getting a cheer and a bottle of water as they wind up their run here. This is all raising money for a good cause, and joining us more is Dr. Doug Strubenbriger with IU Health. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This all raises money for a very good cause as well.
That is correct. This is for our Patient Assistance Fund at the IU Simon Cancer Center. Those are for needs that patients have that are beyond what their insurance or providers pay for them, and very important needs that our patients have.
And when we talk about cancer research, there's so much that has gone on in just the past couple of years and a lot of new advancements as well.
Yeah, the latest actually in cancer treatment right now, it relates to personalized medicine, and we're excited to begin a program in personalized medicine where the best treatments are tailored to that particular individual, and also the ability to lower the side effects by picking a treatment that has the least side effects for that person.
And with less of sort of that toxicness inside, that can really sort of change your overall health and feeling during it.
Exactly, and we're all about health, and so even though we're talking about treating cancer, we're also trying to promote wellness amongst our community. And so we're also talking about a new program, which is a partnership of IU Health and the Colts. This program is called the Healthy Horseshoe Team, a 20-week program to improve each one's fitness by taking small steps both towards nutrition and healthy habits.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning to talk about the new research. You can find out more information about that by going to thecolts.com/healthyhorseshoe. And you can see behind us a lot of the runners here who participated in today's event. A proud father right there, all here for a good cause day, raising money for important cancer research and, as you just heard, cancer treatment for so many patients at IU Health. Naomi, back to you.
Okay, Matt, thank you. And you could see he's wearing his blue tie today. Kelly's got her blue on. It's a blue kind of day because it's Colts Day.
Yeah, bring it on. Let's go Colts. Love it. And we are going to have a hot day. If you are tailgating for that Colts game at Lucas Oil today, it is going to be a hot one. We also have a chance of a few thunderstorms. I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
Plus, flooding across central Indiana. We'll show you the damage that caused several homeowners to evacuate and which areas are still underwater this morning. Welcome back at 9:44 on your Saturday morning. Baklava, gyros, meatballs. Is your mouth watering yet? Mine is. You can get them all at the 41st Annual Greek Fest going on this weekend in Carmel. And Father Bill Bartz joins us live from the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church with more on the delicious food and really the history behind the festival.
Well, good morning, Naomi. Thank you for having us, and we are excited about welcoming all the wonderful people of Central Indiana to Holy Trinity Parish today and tomorrow.
It looks beautiful behind you. Earlier, we were hearing about some of the renovations that have happened to the church. What will all these folks get to see?
Well, of course, they get to enjoy, first of all, the wonderful culture of Greece. We bring Greece here to Central Indiana, enabling everybody to enjoy some delicious food, hear some wonderful music, and of course, see our youth dancing. And then as well, they have an opportunity to come into the church and to experience a touch of Greek Orthodoxy, where we, of course, really celebrate, worship our God, and we, of course, enhance our worship with these beautiful icons that we have in our church.
And that is a beautiful church. What do you have new this year that folks who've gone several times might see that's different?
Well, actually, we've done many new icons in the baptistry area, and on the other side of the church in the niche where we're showing Moses receiving the law from God. So there are a number of icons, as well as the icon screen, where we have a very detailed and magnificent icons of Christ, John the Baptist, Mary, and many of the other saints.
Well, Father, thank you so much for joining us. It is just beautiful there. And for folks who've been several times, I've been before, you know the food is one of the best parts. So for your information, here's the schedule on your screen here. Today, it's from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Then tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you love Greek food, all that stuff. Gyros, it's all there. Save us some.
Well, thank you so much. We look forward to having everybody with us.
Thank you. Well, Kelly Green joining me now with a look at if the weather will be nice for that event, because it's mostly outdoors.
It is. A lot of the dancing happens out in the parking lot. I love that festival.
It's fun.
Yeah, the baklava, my favorite. But we are going to see a hot day out there, so definitely drink a lot of water while you do any of your outdoor activities today. We do have hazy skies right now, dry conditions, and we certainly need a dry day here. We do have the potential of a thunderstorm or two, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But visibility has been an issue this morning. We've had a lot of patchy, dense fog. The prime ingredients for that with the calm winds, we have the moisture in the soil, and also the dew point very close to the air temperature. Notice things are improving, so that's definitely some good news, but we do have some dense fog advisories in effect for our northern viewing area until 12 noon today, but we're already starting to see that improving. Now here's a look at our Crawfordsville camera. We do have hazy skies there as well. In Noblesville, a lot of blue skies, so we'll likely still see a little bit of haze all across central Indiana. It's currently 77 degrees. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 6 miles per hour. That visibility now at 10 miles, so much better here than it was a few hours ago. It is currently 73 in Marion, 76 in Greensburg, 78 in Seymour, 77 in Bloomington, and Columbus 73, where the Columbus Arts Festival will be kicking off at 10 o'clock this morning. Now we are tracking the chance of more thunderstorms. We also are tracking the chance of our first 90-degree day for 2014. We have to go back to September the 11th of 2013 to find the 90-degree temperature, but we did have a hot week. Yesterday we even got up to 86 degrees as well. So the heat has been here, but just not quite that 90-degree temperature. We're also tracking some cooler temperatures as we head towards next week. Right now, though, we're going to see a mainly quiet morning into the afternoon, but we have a chance of a scattered shower or thunderstorm, and it will be very isolated, and most of it will be in our northern viewing area along the same track where they had a lot of the rain yesterday morning, unfortunately. But again, not everyone will see rain, and it won't be nearly as heavy as it was yesterday at this time. Now our planner for today, we'll see temperatures climbing into the upper 80s, so it will be a hot and humid day today with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm. Temperatures will climb to 88 in Nashville, 86 in Richmond, 86 in Muncie, and 88 degrees the high in Greencastle. Now tonight, if you're heading for the Lucas Oil game at the Colts, temperatures will be around 81 degrees. That kickoff at 8 o'clock against the New Orleans Saints. As you're heading out of Lucas Oil, it will definitely be very muggy and warm with temperatures around 77 degrees, dropping to 71 by tomorrow morning. We also have the chance of a few more areas of patchy fog, but not as increased as it was today. Now, our jet stream is really going to play a significant role in our heat and humidity. It will start to push up farther. That will also take away the chances of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. That heat and humidity really will push in as we head into Monday and Tuesday. So here's a look at your forecast. 87 the high for today, 90 degrees on Sunday as well as Monday. Then we're starting to track more chances of scattered showers on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Cooler air returns by next Friday.
Kelly, thank you. The ground is still saturated this morning from heavy rain northwest of Indianapolis, where flooding could still be a problem through the weekend. The heavy rain caused flooding across central Indiana. Eyewitness News anchor John Stair saw the aftermath from Chopper 13, where more than 10 inches of rain fell.
You need water to put out a fire, but ironically, it was water that prevented firefighters from getting to this one north of Hartford City. This is near State Road 18 and State Road 3. Firefighters had to hit the flames from a distance, with the floodwaters keeping the fire department from getting enough water on the fire. The flames ended up damaging or destroying several businesses. And it was flooding that also slowed the morning rush hour as police closed several lanes on I-69 near State Road 18 this morning. The water is blamed for several accidents. It also cut off some people in Grant County, leaving them stranded in homes and barns. First responders had to get in and get some of those people out. And we also saw an ambulance making a hospital run, having to make a dangerous decision by driving through standing water. You can see how high it was in some places as it kept cars in place, unable to move.
And about a dozen Hoosiers are waking up in emergency shelters this morning after flash flooding forced them to evacuate their homes. The rising water consumed their Hartford City neighborhood, as you can see. Red Cross workers are operating a shelter for them at the Blackfoot County Fairgrounds on Park Avenue. The Red Cross will help the flood victims with housing, food, and clothing until they can get back on their feet. Get ready now for Operation Football. We've got the best plays of the night, including skylights from Chopper 13 HD, coming up in sports.
Operation Football on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Marsh. Reed Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Ray Skillman Automotive, and powered by the IHSAA.
You have to want it more than they do. Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Hey, good morning, everybody. The Columbus North Cheerleaders are with us. I'm Dave Calabro. Our 21st season of Operation Football. Let's play the game. Let's jump on board Chopper 13 with Skyline. Here we go. Wayne Township Superintendent Jeffrey Butts takes the Ice Bucket Challenge as the Ben Davis fans loved every minute of it at the Marsh tailgate party. But BD didn't get much of a challenge from Cathedral. Giants on the attack. Kyle Kashner to Chris Evans. Nice spin move. 38-yard play. The Giants in tune early. Ben Davis off to a fast start. They win 44-19. We head up to Boone County, home of the Lebanon Tigers. They took on Mooresville. The Tiger fans want that Operation Football Spirit Award. They had a great start. Superintendent Bob Taylor takes the Ice Bucket Challenge. I gladly helped out. Both teams with opening night jitters. The Tigers botched the field goal attempt. Mooresville's Garrett Mammer with the tackle as Lebanon wins 7-0. Let's head to Hamilton Heights. It's Husky country.
At Hamilton Heights, our man Rodney always feeds us for years and years doing pork chops. So Rodney, I'm going to make you part of the Dave's Do crew here. Put that on your head right there. Cover up that big old bald head.
Some great friends and food, plus some fantastic football. Quarterback Grant Weatherford on the run, 97 yards on the first drive of the season as Hamilton Heights goes on to win over Tipton 52-0. Not a bad start for another season of Operation Football Skylights.
Got a lot of fun out there. It's time for Cheerleaders of the Week on this Saturday morning from Columbus North. Ladies, take it away.
Ready? We are the Bulldogs of CNHS. With pride and spirit, we strive to be the best. Operation Football, so glad to be here. 2014 is our year to cheer. Dogs!
Nice job, Columbus North, on Operation Football. I'm Dave Calabro. Thanks for watching, and much more on our website, WTHR.com. Great job, ladies. Am I qualified for this? No, I'm not. We'll talk to you later.
He looks good with those pom-poms, I will say. Well, high school football took an emotional turn last night as one team honored a student who passed away suddenly this week. Jason Spells has more from Lucas Oil Stadium.
Rebuff grieving the loss of a classmate to start the high school football season. The players lost one of their classmates. He was a soccer player for the school. He died surprisingly earlier this week. To honor him, the players took the field in their season opener against Bishop Chatard, carrying his jersey.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
Second quarter, Rebuff already up 4 on 3rd and 17. Aaron Banks avoiding the sack and unloading. 42 yards to Adam Effort. And the second half, the Trojan defense delivered, holding the Braves scoreless in the half. Gloucester rattled off 14 unanswered to win it 17-14.
Our second stop, week 1 of Operation Football, Cardinal Ritter and Monrovia. There you see the students, they are a bit bright. Let's try to calm that down a little bit for our cameras.
Hey, let's go. We're about to get this dub out here. Let's go.
In the third, the Monrovia ground game carving up the Ritter defense. Trevor Ellis takes the handoff, bounces to the outside, and dives in for the score. Bulldogs up 14. CR would respond. Jeffrey Smahel with a scoring drive of his own. Ritter would rally to tie the game at 34 and win it in overtime, 41-40. I'm Jason Spells with week 1 of Operation Football.
You got the football fever after watching all that.
I can't wait. I love it. I love this time of year.
I can tell. And you also tell us about some rain.
Yes, we do have a chance of some rain. If we take a look at our satellite radar composite, you can see we do have some storms that are trying to push into northern Illinois. Those are actually moving off to the northeast. Not going to hit us for this round, but we do have the potential of a thunderstorm mainly late this afternoon into the evening, mainly also in our north central Indiana area.